So this is 8/26/2021. Let's do our regular market talk and questions. Um, Today, what happened? Okay, in the morning, Datadog. There was earnings for Snow, CRM, Salesforce, and they all were higher and gapping up. So what did Snow do? The reason I did not take Snow as a trade, okay, because it just bounced up here. I was like, okay, 291 is its support, it should get there. So what I did, okay, it gapped to 307, came down, right? This was my support zone, which is this fib area. I was planning to buy here, but by that time the market was tanking, so there was no point trying to take that. Okay, so that was one. Snow was a buy. I had actually put on my Twitter that Snow is a buy at around 290 292, and it came there for a buy. uh, at that time the market was tanking, so didn't take that. Now let's look at CRM. Okay, CRM I took it. It was gapping, and while the market was tanking, it didn't go anywhere. But because it didn't go anywhere, the premium came down and I still had to sell it for a loss. So CRM and Snow, which were both earning trades, did not work as planned, but I had taken only one of them and not taken the other. The next one that showed up was Roku. Okay, this I had alerts at 358, 359, 360, and I kept getting those alerts, so I took the trade right away. It made a lot of profit, but then the Kabul news came in, and this was so fast that happened. I got stopped out for $50 loss per contract. So it's still in a downtrend. Okay, it's trying to get some support. There's a lot of supply here, because of which it keeps getting tracked down, shut down. Now Amazon is one that we are playing right now, and Amazon is working very well. While the others have ran up, Amazon has just not ran up. So Amazon is being now more of a safety play, right? Microsoft, we had Microsoft puts, correct? Microsoft has ran up and we had puts, but even with today's market flush, the Nasdaq flushed pretty hard, even the ES flushed pretty hard. Even with that flush, they held the Microsoft to 300. It couldn't break below. So I'm like, okay, I got rid of my puts, even though they were a hedge. I got rid of them. It's like whenever the market panics, they're gonna still hide in fangs. So, and they may not go into Microsoft and rally it another 10 points, but they could do that to Amazon. Plus Amazon on a structural basis, on a technical basis, okay, it came to the 61.8 green line, gave a hammer, gapped up. Okay, so this is actually a secure low. This candle where the low is 3211, right? 3211 is a secure low. Anything above that is a buy for Amazon, and it has to fill this big great earnings gap. It will take time, but it is there still. So that is where I am. Amazon and Roku are the only two plays left. Etsy, which was really profitable, it's again going back. Oh, we got stopped out and it is going now. So the reason for this trade, this made a nice profit for us. Reason for taking this trade was it is coming down from this trend line, and it's an inverse head and shoulders, and it can easily go to, actually it can go further than what we have. My nearest target was, fib target was at around 223. Okay, but today when the market started pulling back, I did not want to lose my profit, so I got rid of it also. So now I don't have, I'm looking for another entry here. Okay, this is relative strength. If you think about it, while the market is tanking, this was, this is up 5%. So this is where the money is going to keep going today what will all the money managers and all the traders do? They're going to look for relative strength. They will look at what held up when the market was tanking. What held up? Amazon held up, Roku was also hold up, Etsy is another one which is very strong. So that is where the people will go. And so Etsy is buy the dip, Amazon is buy the dip, Roku is buy the dip now for me. And initially, now that I'm out of my for a nice profit, let's think about an entry. Okay, let's think about how would I analyze this trade and go further. Over here, right, it has taken so much chop here, then came up. So the supply here that was there took it down once, came back here again. The supply took it back down second time, third time. This is the fourth time. I think the supply is done. Okay, but still this area could still be some chop. This area here could still be some chop, right? This area could still be some chop till it can go above. So till it is above, till the time it does not close above 225 to 27, I am going to still be that it is by the dip but choppy. Okay, there is still the supply. It is the same thing like what we had it in shop, right? This much supply over here, it will take some time for it to go. So, and Etsy is more of a online retail play like Amazon. If Amazon is having strength, Etsy is having strength, right? This makes sense to have a position in. So let's see, I am thinking of, okay, the strongest quarters for Amazon are coming up. Christmas will be coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, that's the shopping season. So rather than me trying to scalp and do small trades, I'm thinking of doing multiple ladder trades with calendars. Let's see whether we can do something like that. So I want to have something for December, keep selling something, okay? So I want to keep selling something against it, and hopefully we get to 292 is my 330. If it goes there, let's see, right? So that can be a bigger play. Let's see how to do that. Okay, it makes no sense to go all the way here. $270. Okay, so if I think of doing a 260, can I sell something against it? Not much, correct? I cannot sell something against it. So I'm thinking of 260 is here. Let's see. Yeah, I am thinking 250 or 260, somewhere around 250, 260 to buy in December. Okay, so I'll buy 2-3 different layers. Maybe 250. I'll buy 250 and I'll buy 280 and then I'll buy 300. Okay, now I want to sell against it, and I'm trying to figure out how to do that. So if I buy 250, for next week I'm getting only 20 cents. 20 cents doesn't do me anything because I am going to be buying for around 10 bucks, right? So okay, let's look at the week after that. If I look at it, okay, 250, let's say we are able to sell every week for 40 cents. So 40, I'll just round it to 50. How much can I make it? Can I make it free? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have another probably from mid-October till December. We have another 2 months, so 2 months means another 8. So around 14 expirations, right? 14 times 50 gives you $7. I can make $7 out of the $10 that I am putting in. So I'm still not able to make it a free trade. So doing December right now makes no sense. Okay, it would be kind of yeah, I would rather just do 260, not pay the 250, pay the 260. Yeah, I would rather just do 260. Right, rather than doing 250, I'll just do 260 first, and then maybe have some swing trades in between. But yes, I am thinking of doing a 260 in December. That makes sense to me. Now let's look at anything else. We talked about that. We talked about Amazon, we talked about Roku, we talked about Etsy, and we talked about Microsoft. What else? Now, 2 days back you heard my reasoning as to why I took actually a credit spread rather than just going for a long in Airbnb. My thinking was correct actually. It rushed up here on volume, but there is a lot of supply and a lot of resistance here. This is the 61.8 retracement fib line. So it went there, tested it, it went over it and came back down. And today during the market it is down, while the market was going down. So with all that up, I'm just, that was the right play. It had higher IV. Selling something against, selling a put spread was better than going directionally long. So that worked out well. I had a Roku also, which was a credit spread, that also went in profit. So the credit spreads, put credit spreads seem to be working better than this daily chop, one day go, one day back down. Actually 1 hour go up, 1 hour go down. That is what has been happening recently. So that is what I'm thinking. Okay, now in terms of the indices, let's look at the NQ. We are still hitting that resistance that I have on the trend line, right? We are still hitting on that resistance. Today, even with this, it did not test the 8-day, right? It did not come to the 8-day. It got above that. Now let's talk about it. How did it do it also? This is my intraday fib targets that I draw for my futures trading, right? I took the yesterday's high to yesterday's low and did the fib. It went close to the target today. Even during the flush, it came close to this and it is bouncing now. So the now next thing that I'm looking at it's already gone above yesterday's high, yesterday's low. Now the next target, if it can take out this 15,366, then you're looking at it to go to test probably yesterday's high. If it can take that out, it can go to 15,413. That is the target. Now this can only happen if Amazon starts going higher. So I am long Amazon. We have taken Amazon 34.50 for 34.30 for next week long in our subscription, and I have also sold a put spread, right? Because it was having relative strength when the market was going down. So that is what I have. So today, all in all, Etsy worked, Roku worked for a while, Amazon has worked for a while, Microsoft worked, CRM and Snow, CRM, even though it held up, did not work. Snow, it was exactly what I planned but did not execute. So it happens. That happens. Sometimes you plan something and you're not able to execute. I'm a human. I'm not an algo trading. So let's see you again tomorrow. Bye.